Hello and welcome to the Weekend Investing Daily Bites. This is the episode number 40. We are at June 28th and we had a upswing in the market initially. The first half an hour actually saw Bank Nifty touch a recent few months high, but it did succumb to the pressures later on, and more or less the market was tentative through the day. Nifty ended at 0.29% lower than yesterday. The broader indices, CNX 500 and small cap indices were marginally up or just flat. In terms of the sectors, PSU banks were running up. Metal stocks were really going gung ho today, along with commodities, aluminium stocks, and sugar stocks were on a high. Some pharma stocks were running. IT and FMCG and other consumption stocks were taking a breather today. So not much of a action in the larger segment of indices, but very specific indices were running today. In terms of the weekend investing small case performance, MI25 was doing very well. It was up almost 1.5%. This has now crossed 41% for the current financial year. MIMT all cap was also up 1%, along with MI50 and MI30 also nearly 1%. So these have been posting good gains. ATH was up 0.5%, and NNF10 has been sluggish this entire month. It has not really gone anywhere in the entire month here. So this has been a laggard for this month's performance. In terms of today's topic, I wanted to do a historical run on our products, some of them, and showcase how, if you were to hit a drawdown, how these products behave in a drawdown and how they come back up. Although we have a very short history of 5 years and 1 quarter to look at in terms of actual data, but you will get a flavor of what staying in the market, being in a winning strategy does. So staying in the market is very important, but staying in the market in the right strategy matters the most actually. So you could stay in the market but not be in the right portfolio or stocks, and staying in the market will not help then. But staying in the market and having that sound portfolio strategy behind you, that will be important. So let's look at some of the data on this. So let's look at MI25 first. Let's just see where we are. MI25, okay. So MI25, we've been running this since 2016. So we have 5 full years and 1 quarter of data. There is we've done 1 year rolling, 2 years rolling, and 3 years rolling data. So in a 5.25 year span, we've run it 1 year each year, then 2 years at a batch. So 2 years starting 2016, 2 years starting 2017, 2 years starting 2018, and then 3 years batch. So 3 year rolling is 2016, 17, 18, and 2017, 18, 19, so on and so forth. So you get a flavor of, if you were invested through a longer period, what has been the outcome. So let's go one by one. So financial year 16-17, MI25 did 71% returns. The equivalent 43% returns was there on small cap index. So there was a beat here. 17-18, MI25 did 64%. The index did 12%. 18-19, MI25 did 12% negative. The small cap index did 14% negative. 19-20, MI25 did only 8% negative. The index was 46% negative. And in the current last year, 2021, we had 99% uptick in MI25, and the small cap index was 126%. So the index performed but better than the strategy in this 1 year. However, when we look at 2 years data, so for each 1 year data, the average return here we got was 43%, whereas the index was 24%. Now on 2 year data, so 16 financial 16-17 and 17-18, we got a return of 67% as an average. And the CAGR on 2 year rolling return on the index was 26%. Then 17-18 and 18-19 we got 20%. The CAGR on the index was -2%. Then 18-19 and 19-20 we had a negative 10-year CAGR on 2 years. The index had -32% CAGR. Then you had 1920 and 2021 at 35% plus. The index had 10% plus. So here you can see within 2 years itself, you can see the kind of difference staying in 2 years into the strategy has brought to your returns. So the average returns over a 2 year rolling period was 1% in the index and 28% in the strategy. That is a kind of enormous gain. Now let's look at 3 year returns, rolling returns. So 3 year rolling return, financial 17, 18 and 19, we got 35%. On the index, we had 11%. On 18, 19 and 20, we had 10% CAGR. You had -20% CAGR here on 3 years. And the last one, 19, 20, 21, we had 17% versus 1%. So the probability of being in green was also only 67% on the index, whereas it was 100% on the strategy. But the average returns was 21% per year versus -3% on the strategy. So huge difference between running a successful strategy versus the index which is also a momentum strategy, and that is also being churned by the exchange. But even then, to have that kind of alpha over that momentum strategy is amazing returns here. So let's now look at another one. Let's look at NNF10. So this is a large cap strategy, 10 stocks on Nifty Junior, which is 51st to 100 market cap. Again, we see financial 16-17, we have 51 versus 34. Then 18, we have 15 versus 14. 19, we had a flat year on both, -1%. 20, we had -11% versus -25%. And 21, we had 52% versus 62%, which was lower than the index. But average returns over here was 21% versus 17%. In terms of 2 year NNF10, we had 2 year rolling at 32% here versus 23% on the index. 7% in 18-19 versus 6%, -6% versus -14%, 16 versus 10. So in 2 year returns, every 2 year rolling return beat the underlying index, and your average return was 12% versus the average return of 6% on the index. In terms of 3 years now, 3 year returns were 20% rolling versus 15% on the index, 0% versus 6%, and then 10% versus 6%. So on 3 year basis also, you found almost 100% green rolling return and an average of 10% versus an average of 5% return on the index. So NNF10 also has done very well in terms of creating alpha over its benchmark index, and staying in the strategy has helped a lot. Now let's see MIMT all cap. Here, first year 40% versus 24, second 59 versus 11, third 2% versus 8%. So here strategy has underperformed. Fourth year minus 6% versus minus 28%, huge outperformance. Fifth year 141% versus 78%, 76%, huge outperformance again. So over 5 years 47% versus 18% on Nifty 500 benchmark. When we take rolling returns, 2-year returns 49% versus 18%. So this 2 years is average CAGR basically over those 2 years. Next 2 years 27 versus 10. Next 2 years minus 2 versus minus 11. Next 2 years 51 versus 13. Again average of 31% versus 7%. Huge outperformance. 3-year rolling return 32 versus 14. 15 versus minus 4. 33 versus 11. Average 26 versus 7%. So if you stayed on for 3 years, coming in at any point of time in this strategy, in the last 5 years and 1 quarter, you would have made at least 15% return CAGR, and at most 33% here in a 3-year period. Now let's look at MIATH. This strategy is currently closed for new subscription, but there are quite a few number of people who are already in and running this strategy. So these numbers may be referenced by them. First year here 57% versus 24%. Second year 93 versus 11. Third minus 5 versus plus 8. Huge underperformance here by this strategy. And likely because 18-19 you hardly had any all-time highs. Markets were down in terms of broader market, and that's probably caused the underperformance here. 19-20 plus 1 versus minus 28, huge outperformance. And 20-21, 180% versus 76%, totally out of the park. So average returns 65% versus 18% each year. Now let's look at 2-year combines. 74 versus 18, 35 versus 10, minus 2 versus minus 11, 69 versus 13. So 2-year bunches, you would have made much more than the underlying index in any 2-year period. The lowest return you would have got would be minus 2%, and the highest would have been at plus 74% CAGR. 3-year record 42% versus 14%. So first 3 years 42% CAGR versus index 14%. Next 3 years 23% CAGR versus minus 4%. Next 3 years 39% CAGR versus 11%. So anytime you came into this strategy, you would have made minimum 23% CAGR in 3 years time. Maximum would have been at 42%. Average would have been 35% versus index average of 7%. So all these strategies have beaten their respective benchmarks, which are also momentum indices, by a wide margin. Please do understand that this is not just the last 1 year phenomena. The returns will come in bunches and in lumps. They will not be linear. Like for instance, you are seeing here, you had 2 years of no performance. Now you have to persevere through that if you are convinced about the strategy. And just see, those who persevered got 180% on the 3rd year. So it is difficult to say if one strategy is not doing well for 1 year or 2 years, whether that strategy has lost its edge and things like that. But over a period of time you will come to know, and that is the risk that we need to take with any strategy. So the bottom line lesson here is that we must stay for the longer term in all these strategies. I'm only giving you a 3-year rolling return because we only have actual 5.25 years of actual data. Uh, I can give you a back test of 10 years, 15 years, but that is not as meaningful. Uh, but the idea is that stay in the market, even if there is a drawdown, keep adding capital to a strategy which has proven itself to come out of drawdowns effectively. Even if it is a index strategy of just riding the index, even there, because the index is a momentum portfolio, you will be able to ride it out. Once the tide turns again. So the idea and the lesson is stay invested, add more, but don't confuse it with averaging of stocks. Averaging of stocks is another thing. If you are buying, let's say ITC at 200, and suppose it comes to 150, and suppose it goes to 100, you cannot keep averaging that. But in a portfolio which has a strategy of exiting losers, it would get exited anyways. So that there we don't have a question of averaging losers. Then you are sort of averaging the portfolio, but the portfolio is taking care of the losers and the winners. So this is all I had for today's session.